All right, well, we've brought out our small home clinic tote model out to work on Strider here, and I'm going to show you what this intensity of this machine can do with horses. In general, horses don't need as much intensity as humans do, so this tote model in the mini tote is actually a great intensity for horses. I'm going to put this on low, just going to set it up on the hind legs, and we're going to see what the horse is feeling on low. And then we'll turn it up a little bit higher, and I'll show you some muscle contractions, and we'll work down the legs a little bit too, okay? So here's low. Low is basically just a very fast ticking, about 10 pulses per second. And usually what we do is we just kind of set it up on the horse. You always want to start lower with horses, just kind of see what they're feeling. Sometimes they can have some sensitive areas, and they tend to tell you. Usually we'll look for the ears to move, or they'll drop their head, they'll lick their lips a little bit, they'll shift their weight a little bit. But even this low intensity, Strider can feel, okay? And so, we always want to start low with horses and then work our way up. So this would, if I knew that there was a chronic issue with the horse, I would just set this on here for a little bit and just kind of let it go to work. It's usually about 10 minutes per side. With this machine, it's probably going to do about 15 minutes per side with this machine. But on the low setting, it's very gentle. The energy's going through. They can actually feel it. You'll look for the signals, and it's a good start to getting the horse to feel good. Now, since you're going to be using this on humans and horses, I've just covered these loops up with a little bit of press and seal, so that basically when I'm done, I can just peel this off and throw it away. My loops stay nice and clean, okay? I've turned the machine up to high, and you can actually hear the pulsing. It's about 1 pulse per second, but we are in the high setting. We've actually have the 10 pulses per second going at the same time. When you're working with a horse, this ticking can be a little weird for them. So what you want to do is, I like to put this up my arm, and I like to just kind of pat the horse a little bit, and they know I'm here, and I'm just kind of petting them. And then it's very slowly, what we'll do is I'll just kind of bring this toward the horse, rest one side down, and then they're going to just think I'm petting them when the pulse starts to pulse. So when I turn this on and I start to press it onto their body, I'll get a good muscle contraction. I'm not sure if you can see this up here yet, but the muscles are firing, and the horse finds it pretty good. And we'll pay attention to the signs, sometimes the ears, and they'll let you know when it gets to a sensitive spot. Once they kind of relax, the muscles will tend to fire more and more. So looks like he's doing okay. So we're just going to kind of go back and forth. With this large loop you do around the body for about 10 minutes. And you can do the gut, you can do the tummy. Look at the tummy firing. You can get down into the organs, down into all the different areas, and you'll find the sensitive spots. They'll tell you if something's bothering them, and it's also a good indicator to kind of what to pay attention to with the horse, because sometimes they can't tell you when their stomach hurts, but when you go through here and they kind of pull away or withdraw, sometimes they'll even lean into you if they really like it. I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the small loop so you can get an idea of the intensity of the small loop and where to go with that. It's okay to work around the head, around the eyes. Just put it on the low setting. The 10 pulses per second is comfortable. You can put it around the eyes, around the head, around the face, even around their teeth after dental work, but keep it on low. On the high, it'd be a little sensitive for them, but start low, and then you can control with distance as they get more comfortable with the fields. So I've switched over to the small loop, and basically we have a little bit more concentrated field. So you can work pinpoint anywhere on the body with this, around the head, eyes, teeth, anywhere you want to go. But this one is basically going to be used more in the legs. So you can get a little bit more intensity on these smaller muscles. And it's a good way. They'll kind of tell you when things are bothering them, if it hits an area that's sensitive or tender. But you can always just kind of go through and work on everything. Now, this machine is, you know, a less intensity than our big machine. So you're going to use it maybe a little longer, you know, 15 minutes or a full 30 minutes on low if you need to. But you can see there's plenty of strength with this small loop to put it on any pinpointed area of the body, okay? And don't be afraid to, you know, to put it anywhere. They'll tell you whether or not they like it or not. And if you have an injury or anything going on, you know, definitely just hold it there and let the horse charge up those cells that are injured. And other than that, this is a great way for the equine industry to get into a PEMF unit of this strength for, you know, a much more affordable price. So a lot of times there's a lot of big barns that had tons of horses. They could justify the expense of our larger unit, but now anybody with just a few horses out back can use this and partner with their nutritional programs for their horse, for keeping the horse healthy throughout the year. If injuries happen, you have something to go to right away. And the size, the weight, the ease of it is really nice. And you know, we can see a lot of people owning these right in their own barns. Now, we built the mini tote model to bring out to the barn and have a nice machine in a nice hard case. But for those of you who have our desktop model, there are some bags out there that we can slide our machines into and have a cord come out the back. And basically we can use our home models out there. Just be a little more careful with moisture and kind of banging it around. You definitely want to keep these dry in a nice safe place, but for the most part you can just slide it into a bag, plug everything in, and this has a shoulder strap here, so I can just kind of set it on this way. I've got my buttons right here, start her up, and I can go around and work on the horse. The extension cord is all you need to have the length that you need. And basically you could do exactly the same thing with our tote model as you can with our office model, just with the bag. Hope that helps, and that way you can take this in, and after a hard day's work, you can go in and work on yourself also. So thanks again, and thanks for watching.